Hi, this is Greg. It's August 31st, 2024, and I thought I would bring you in on this final shave of Austere August. Um, the gear I've been using all month is Chicago Grooming 1889, a dupe of AG 1889, a dupe of Guerlain Jiki. I've been using the Splash every day, and I have a sample of the fragrance that I've been using. As you can see, it's almost gone. But the star of the show has been the challenge of using a stainless steel razor all month without stropping it. So today I'm going to talk about my experience of doing this, how I prepared, what my strategy was, what I expected to happen, and of course what has happened up through 30 shaves. Today's the 31st shave, so it could all go wrong today, but that might be unlikely. Where to start? I could start by just shaving, but I think I'll start with my strategy, and then I'll do the shaving. The strategy really had to do with how I honed the razor. If you watched, I made a video of honing this razor on the 31st of July. And I honed it on a very inexpensive combination stone, a 5K, 10K combination stone. Then did a little finish work with a strop, a nanocloth strop with very small abrasive on it. And then some stropping, and that's all. That's all that was done. Now the goal of that was to create an edge that was a little thicker and hopefully a little more durable than I would normally create. And also to, if you watch the video, I made an effort to put a little bit of a convex, change the bevel from something like this to, or change the edge from something like two flat bevels to a small convex at the very apex, giving more material at that location to withstand the stresses of shaving. So that was the concept. And now and so why was that my concept? Well, I have a multimedia presentation here. So my thought is that in general, let's see here, I have to see if that's actually showing up. Yeah, it is. My thought is that in general, where if you look at sharpness on the vertical axis and time on the horizontal axis, I think generally that degradation in sharpness happens pretty quickly, and then the rate of decline decreases over time. And so my goal in the edge that I produced was to make an edge that would have a wear characteristic like the one I'm showing you now. I think if I really create a keen edge where the material at the apex is quite thin, then I think that the wear profile looks more like this, where it decreases more quickly in a short period of time, and then even the rate of decrease after that is greater. So that was my thinking going in. I have no way to know whether there's any validity to that, but that was my thinking going in. So anyway, let's get going. I can talk all day. You probably can't listen all day, so let's get going. I'm going to wet the face. I'm going to load. I have my, oh, I forgot to show you the brush. This is the Zenith R wet shaving boar brush with a 31mm knot. It's been soaking. I'm gonna take it out of the cup. Squeeze enough water to make to keep the knot still wet, but not dripping wet. And then I'm just loading from the tub, as I normally do, creating a mess in my sink. And now I'm going to take the paste. I have a wet face already, as you probably remember. So I'm taking the paste from the load, left in the tub from the load, and then doing my version of the People's Pre-Shave. My version is sort of the People's Pre-Shave with extra slickness on top. And I do that by really working it into the beard. And this is part of the strategy, by the way. Really working this into the beard, and then making it so wet that I sort of optimize slickness over lather. Okay. So if you're a fan of Sugar Daddy shaves, this is a slurry lather on steroids that I use as a pre-shave. Okay, so now we're going to lather for the first. I'm going to just do 2 passes. I'm going to do my normal 2 passes. This has been a absolutely wonderful soap. This is a really old fragrance too. The soap is the Darkwing is the name of the soap base, and it's got duck fat as its tallow. It's phenomenal base, especially for straight razor shavers. Very, very easy for me to create a luxurious and very wet base. I don't think I'm even going to add much water to this. I think I'm just going to let it go. Normally what I'll do is paint in some water to amp up the slickness. This feels on the face already very slick. All right, let's get going. So what's been my experience for 30 days? Well, my experience has been far better than I thought it would be. I thought that after 12 to 15 days, I would really start to feel dulling on the edge, and that I would be finding a way to adjust my technique to handle that, to deal with less than excellent shaves, and then just sort of make it through the month. And I also thought that would be good for me, good technique to sort of learn how to force myself to learn how to handle kind of a dull edge for a couple of weeks. So that's what I thought would happen. What has happened is that the first 2 days, the edge was sharper than I expected given the preparation that I made, and gave me exceptional shaves. But to get those exceptional shaves, I relied on my technique of low angle and light pressure, so that the edge did not feel harsh. After the first 2 days, that wear that I showed you in the graph kicked in. A very slight amount of wear kicked in, and the edge became unbelievably comfortable. And then I got, from that point on until about 4 days ago, I basically just got very comfortable, excellent shaves every day. About 4 days ago, the quality of the shave started to get down into the very bottom of what I would consider my excellent category, and so that means not BBS everywhere, and I had a day where I rated the shave good, because it was a great shave in terms of the experience, but the quality of the result was good. That was also a day where I did not have 24 hours between shaves, so I think that may have contributed. And so I've vacillated for the last 4 days. I had a good shave, I had an excellent shave, and then I had a good shave again. Yes, last night was, I did a shave last night after almost 40 hours or 24 plus 8, about 32 hours of not shaving. So this shave there's only been, let's see, yeah, so I've not gone. I've got about 19 hours. This is a late afternoon shave, and I'm normally a morning shaver. So I slipped things around because I knew I was going to be making this video, and I didn't know how much time it would take to set up, so I didn't want to do it at 5:30 in the morning. So you get the idea. Anyway, so I have rated the shave. Comfort. Hang on, I'm gonna try to keep my the area around my mouth okay here. So comfort, as I said, comfort ramped up on day 3 and has not gone away. I'm certain that the apex is rounded over time. It has to be, and the quality of the shave decreasing into vacillating between a good and an excellent shave shows that. But what I'm surprised about is how little that's happened. And so next I'll talk about why I think I've had such good results. But you'll have to bear with me here. Okay, so I didn't expect this, as I've said, but I think the edge geometry contributed to the good results I have. I think that using incredibly wet lathers, I mean, my lathers are are on the denser, very wet side. The business of always having a very wet, slick base I think helps, because the hair, which somewhere I read, is that the average human hair kind of has the abrasive nature of copper. I don't know where that came from or who measured it. It's just something I read. Anyway, if that's true, clearly doing as much as you can to soften that can only help in terms of edge wear. And so as you see, I put a lot of effort into having a very wet preparation between each pass. Then my lathers are wet. I don't, because I normally time optimize. You know, I sort of allot myself about 15 minutes in the morning to just give over to enjoyment of the shave. But, you know, I feel a little guilty if I'm walking out of the bathroom here at 30 minutes. So my optimization for this process is to get myself in and out in 15 minutes. And so part of that is I don't want soap everywhere, or lather everywhere. So my lathers are wet, like this one right now, unlike the first pass, feels a little thicker and pastier, so we'll be adding water. So I think that the focus on having a very, very wet beard, having the beard saturated so that it's as soft as possible, I think that helps. And then finally, I think that the low angle and maintaining that low angle technique makes a difference. I'm aware, and Jacques has also Jacques of Dapper Shaves has also commented that that, you know, if this is the hair and this is the razor, if you're coming in at a low to the skin would be here. If you're coming in at a low angle, most of your load is compressive on the very apex. If you're coming in at a high angle, then the load is very lateral and a little bit compressive. And steel is stronger in compression than in shear, which is the lateral load. So I think that the low angle shaving contributes to a wear rate that's slower as well. Other than that, I mean, this is my hypothesis. Other than that, the whole thing has been surprising and amazingly freeing. You know, just dry. It's a stainless steel razor, so dry it off, put it down. How great is that? Tomorrow, however, we go back to our regularly scheduled stuff. Regularly scheduled for me is normally straight razors 5 days a week, and I dip into my safety razor collection for the weekends. We've been talking about doing a straight razor September, so a straight timber. I don't know whether that's going to come to pass or not, but I'm ready. I think I have enough razors to use a different razor every day for September. I mean, that's okay, right? I mean, that's all right. I'm not overdoing it. I've been into the wet shaving hobby only 3 years, And I taught myself to straight razor shave before that, but the difference in technique that I have now versus what I used to have is like night and day. And so I get far better shaves with a straight razor than I do with a DE. And back when I started, you know, it was Kangoo and one pass. And, you know, I liked the technique. I could do it reasonably fast. I kind of like I think these are cool. I think straight razors are cool. So I like that part of it. But, you know, now I'm getting shaves that are more comfortable. I have all this great, great gear to use. Most importantly, my technique has, once I started really focusing on it, my technique has improved significantly. And I'd say that, at least from my perspective, from the experience, my experience here, from my perspective, I think the technique that I described to you, the strategy of preparing the edge, I think those contributed to the result that I have, but mostly I suspect that it's the wear resistance of this steel. So you know, configuring the edge into an appropriate shape, I think that mostly is probably the stainless steel used in this Friodur that contributed to the lifetime of the edge that I've seen. I mean, I'd like to say it's me and my technique is that good, but yeah, the likelihood is not so much. Speaking of technique, I saw a long haul tanker, Leon, do a shave. I normally don't watch them because they're so long, but I thought it would be important to watch one of his shaves because he's been kind enough to comment on some of my videos. Anyway, oh my God, talk about great technique. First of all, how he shaves for Leon, I mean, Mr. Tanker, how you shave for as long as you do is mind-boggling. But your technique in handling the razor is amazing. So kudos to you, sir. All right, let's finish this thing up. I'm tired of listening to me. I suspect you are too, so let's get this done. Technique-wise, I'm using what I told you in the last shave, and it's the technique I almost always use, the ignore the grain two-pass shave. That has managed to take me, you know, years to perfect, so that I get the difficult areas BBS and I get the cheeks BBS without too much effort. All right, let's see how we did. I'm gonna I'm gonna spritz my face with cold water. It's just amazing. It's a really close shave. It's not even 24 hours. I'm sorry to laugh, but I mean, I've been almost every shave after the first 15 days. I've been kind of this amazed. I mean, why do we strop these things? All right, so all I'm doing is the drying off of the razor that, you know, everybody does. All right, but you know, I'm gonna put it away. I guarantee you, before I use it again, I'm not gonna be able to help myself, and I know I'm gonna refresh the edge. Oh, and I'll show you. I did a microscope image at day 28. I'm gonna do one after this shave, and I'll post a link to the album of images that I've done on this razor this August. So, okay, so let's dry off. Let's do the drill. I forgot to show you, but I always use some version of Thayer's witch hazel, just as a toner. I got into this again, getting into wet shaving instead of non-wet shaving, getting into it as a first an interest and then a hobby. I started doing this because I saw other people do it, but I think that it certainly doesn't hurt. What I used to do is shave, slap on Schulten Old Spice, you know, directly, just shave, slap on Schulten Old Spice, and then out the door. Unfortunately, I ran out of Schulten. I mean, they stopped making it in the late 80s, early 90s. Schulten sold Old Spice, and I didn't think the new stuff measured up. So I kind of, you know, used whatever I had. Got Aqua Velva, got a bunch of other things. But basically, shave, throw on something with alcohol, and then out the door. All right. So I've done that. Did a little cleanup while the witch hazel soaked in. Let's get this going. I apologize. This is almost a half an hour. Get this. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. So cheeks are BBS. This area is BBS now, and I'm sure it will dry down to be even more BBS. I think that if I do this, my guess is I can feel if I stretch the skin, I can feel hair under the skin. That's actually kind of where I like it to be. I think it's a little longer than I would, you know, a little closer to the surface than I would normally have with a fully refreshed edge. But I mean, 31 shaves, no stropping. Come on, I mean, it's got to be an excellent shave, especially because I don't have dry down yet. Okay, I'm blown away by this. All right. So now let's do the fragrance dance here. I guess we'll do the whole deal. You know, Barber Dave does some sort of goofy thing. I mean, he knows what he's doing. I clearly don't. Okay. We're done. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone who watches and comments on these videos. I have a couple of razor makers who watch these videos and have commented, and I really appreciate the kind words that you guys have given me. If you want, I'll make more of these, you know, geezer shaves to the camera videos. Otherwise, I'll go back and continue my honing and sharpening videos. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.